started.
Okay. Golly, it's cold out there, folks. I just took the dog out for what you take dogs out for?
Imagine if you lived in Wisconsin.
Well, then you have elk, and you let the elk can just stay outside. Anyway, today is day 9 of Advent, and so on the Flaviar 2025 Advent calendar for day 9, the offering is something I've not heard of before: Mary Dowling Tequila barrel finished bourbon. Isn't that interesting? Tequila barrel finished. Apparently Mary Dowling, I think I mentioned this yesterday when we talked about what was coming up. Apparently she was a trailblazing woman. Ended up taking over the Waterfill and Fraser distillery and moved it to Mexico during Prohibition to ensure its survival. Anyway, this is a high rye bourbon aged in toasted...
High rye?
High rye bourbon, it says.
High rye, okay.
I think it still has a pretty high mash bill of corn. Aged in toasted and charred American oak barrels, then finished in tequila casks. The result is a rich whiskey of an unparalleled, nuanced flavor profile. 93 proof, vibrant complexity and finish, as enduring as Mary's legacy.
Is it Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in tequila? I'm trying to look for their site too.
I think it's...
Pretty bottles if you have a real bottle.
In the AI there, it tells you who's really the distiller. It's just like a wholly owned subsidiary kind of thing.
Mary Dowling Whiskey Company is listed as the distiller.
Okay, well there's...
Rabbit Hole Distillery, crafted by, but it says distiller. So I found our whiskeys, the Mary Dowling Whiskey Company, and it says Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in oak tequila barrels. Is that what that bottle says?
I believe it is, yeah. This just says whiskey. No, just says whiskey. Number 9. Whiskey number 9. Not like driver 8, take a break.
Well, it's a really pretty bottle. 93 proof.
Does it look like that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like, a little bit like the Lalique features of the Glen Turret stuff.
High rye Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey aged 3 years, over 3 years, and number 3 wood fired, toasted and charred new American oak, and then finished in reposado tequila barrels.
It's an interesting nose.
25% malted rye, 5% malted barley, 70% corn.
%70 corn is kind of hard to get anything left here to call it high rye.
Well, 25% rye. Isn't that high?
That is pretty high, yeah.
For bourbon?
I guess it is, yeah.
I can smell it over here. No.
little alcohol vapor going on there.
It is described, the AI says, it is described as a feather-light whiskey, appealing to those who enjoy delicate and soft bourbons.
This is a delicate and soft nose.
The website has delicate and soft blue flowers around it.
Every time I take a nose, I'm really expecting to find some of that characteristic vanilla, tobacco, leather come through. It's just not there.
So on the Mary Dowling, it's 1920 Prohibition halted whiskey production, prompting Mary to take decisive action. She dismantled her distillery and enlisted the Beam family to aid in its relocation to Juarez, Mexico. This strategic move ensured survival for Mary, her family, and the Beams, securing their financial future amidst Prohibition's grip. In tribute to her unwavering resolve, we crafted a high rye Kentucky bourbon aged in tequila barrels.
the nose to me is, and maybe it's just from what was being cleaned out earlier, but it's just there's a smokiness to it. Almost like something caramel, burnt caramel, burning, or really darkening of caramel, but very light, very, not a pronounced thing.
Here it says delicate notes of spice and anise or anise greet the nose, followed by a hint of agave intertwined with citrus, grapefruit, smoke, tobacco, and nutmeg on the palate.
Maybe the agave and the smoke is what I'm getting. And on the flavor wheel, the spiral here, anise, spicy, oak, herbal, got that. Citrus, not so much. It's got citrus, orange, and lemon all separate. Oh, citrus, orange, lemon, grapefruit. I think they're...
Says here, the same here too. Citrus, lemon, grapefruit, smoke, tobacco, nutmeg, with herbal and earthy notes. Well, that's the palate.
Herbal and...
Oops.
It is tickling the back of my throat with that.
The barrels, both the charred New American oak and the tequila, now it says the barrels first held sacrificial sherry for a year.
That's
followed by Oloroso sherry with a Solara system for 4 years. And then 2 years holding VDN.
I don't think that's just...
Before holding Reposado tequila in Mexico. So that must be that
older stuff.
The tequila barrels.
Okay. So anyway.
Huh. They got a lot going on.
I'm going to have a little tasty here. That's bourbon.
Well, good.
That's a high rye bourbon.
It's marketed as such, so I'm glad you agree.
But it tastes like one. I don't really... Well, maybe I am. Let me have a second of it. Nice mouthfeel right off the bat.
Okay.
The taste is everywhere, but it moves nicely to the back with a nice warming feeling. I sense that I am getting the effects of the tequila finishing more on the nose than I am in the palate. Do you want to caution a nose at all?
I do not. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, at least, I don't know to what extent the tequila barrel finishing has imparted anything in particular upon the taste here. It was probably, given those dates that they were 3 or 4 years and barrel before finishing in a.
The sacrificial sherry in the bourbon barrels.
Don't sacrifice sherry. Enjoy it, even in a glass about this size.
You don't get any tequila out of it?
It's hard to say. There's a lot of bourbon in here.
Okay.
Like I said, on the nose, I think I'm getting some of that impact, but on the palate, it's not. The nose to me is more subtle and subdued than the taste. The taste is it's a full, rich bourbon to drink.
Think of it as a classic American spirit taking a vacation to Mexico and coming back with some incredible stories to tell. That's what they say.
Okay.
Traditional flavors of bourbon, caramel, vanilla, and oak with the vibrant, complex notes of agave, which is probably what imparts the citrus.
Yeah. I mean, I got all that up until the agave, the citrus, and then I'm just having a tough time picking it out. It could very well be there.
Yeah, that sherry comment must have been misplaced.
It's got nice legs.
Unless the tequila was finished in sherry barrels.
Oh.
And then...
Now, wouldn't that be something? That's a whole lot of chemistry going on. So anyway,
somewhere else mentions sherry.
I think the price point on this is MSRP $75, which I would then make this a bar plus or bar. Again, because there's right off the bat, I can think of several bourbons, some with higher proof, like Evan Williams, that have this a very similar bourbon taste profile.
Yeah, but a higher
to me.
proof.
I understand.
Not everybody wants that.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's a good point.
I think this is still pretty. I mean, it's not really high, is it?
93, 90,
46 and a half.
Yeah,
ABV.
93 proof. So it's getting up there. It's closer to 100 proof than it is to 80, which is kind of the standard. But for some reason, when I'm nosing it, and it may be that I was just outside in the cold with the dog that didn't go potty.
She says, "Sorry, not sorry."
You know, taking a big whiff of it, it does tickle parts of my respiratory tract just a little bit. But I would recommend that if you are in Kentucky and you can find it in a bar, have a 2-ounce pour, then have a cocktail out of it and see what you think of it. It may be worth your while because it is unique. It's got a unique backstory, and it's got some between Rabbit Hole and Beam. It's got some good company, I guess you could say. And there's a lot of people who dump on Jim Beam, but Jim Beam really is a stable, honest to goodness.
They're a big dog in the industry.
Well, yeah, they are. Yes. Well, yeah, Suntory Beam.
Do you have Rabbit Hole?
I don't remember. I think it's one that I've looked at a few times and said maybe I should get some, maybe I shouldn't.
Okay.
If next time we're in Knoxville, go over to McScrooge's, see if they've got something to taste.
They have them at the Coast Guard Exchange.
But they don't have a tasting wall like McScrooge's does.
Oh, true.
So, anyway.
And we really don't need more.
We don't need to go all the way down there for that. Okay, so tomorrow is an Irish whiskey on flight number 10. Belfast.
Oh, that's not Bushmills?
No, it's the Two Stacks Irish Whiskey as the brand name. The expression is the first cut signature blend, 86 proof Irish whiskey, Northern Ireland, and the distinct feature is a 5-part blend of grain, pot still, and malt Irish whiskey. Two Stacks whiskey represents a daring revival in Irish whiskey making, forging a path for contemporary innovation. Founded in 2020 by 3 visionaries, this independent bonder and blender crafts flavor-driven whiskeys that captivate the senses. By working with Ireland's top distilleries, Two Stacks creates whiskeys for both seasoned connoisseurs and newcomers. So
you just read what you're going to do tomorrow.
Yeah. So, that's the hook. That's the hook. So I can get them come back tomorrow. So anyway, again, not selling anything. Having a little fun with this. When we have a bourbon to sip, I get to sip it all. If it's an Irish or a Scotch or something else, I share. I'll be sharing more rye if we get a positive response like we did to the Frey Ranch. So anyway, thanks, y'all. I think we're having Swedish meatballs and what else?
Potato things.
Good Americans. Bye. Cheers.